Hello everybody and welcome to W3L Wrestling Showdown here on the W3L network. I am Stevie Wizard. Thank you for joining us and subscribing and indeed just being part of W3L. It's been a busy fortnight for the Worldwide Wrestling League. We had our 7 Deadly Sins weekend, then we had our Northern Tour weekend as well. But we are not resting on our laurels. We have more live action heading your way this Saturday afternoon. That's right, on July 16th, we return to the Southside Community Centre in Edinburgh for more fantastic live action. I'll tell you about some of the matches you can see then very shortly, but if you want to beat the rush, if you want to get what tickets are left, head right now to our website, W3Lwrestling.com, and of course if you use Showdown as a coupon code, you can have 20% off them. Don't see when I'll get you. Before we get to that, it's time for a match. This week sees a proper heavyweight battle. On one side of the fence is a man who recently faced Grado here in Wrestling Showdown. He is the tenacious Johnny Lyons. He's tackling the man who not all that long ago went sadly unsuccessfully up against Joey Legend for the heavyweight title. I'm talking about Big Dave Jeremi. What will happen when these two bulls collide? Well, let's not wait any longer. Let's head down to ringside for this week's match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this going to be a singles match, say for 1 fall. Introducing your first participant. He is from Epsom in England. He weighs 230 pounds. This is tenacious Johnny to my left, from Livingston, and weighing 255 pounds, this is Big Dave Jeremi!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown in a proper heavyweight clash this week. The man in the front of the screen in the black and white trunks, tenacious Johnny Lyons, taking on the man at the back of the screen in the black t-shirt with the green singlet, Big Dave Jeremi. Jeremi not necessarily a regular for W3L, but we did see him back in May challenging Joey Legend for the heavyweight championship. Certainly no easy task, as well anybody who's wrestled Joey Legend will be able to attest. And Johnny Lyons, a regular with the Worldwide Wrestling League, who's recently battled Grado back in June, and has certainly been attempting to position himself as a strong heavyweight title challenger, and this match becomes so important for both men because Jeremi, having had a taste at a championship opportunity, would like another one. However, he needs to get back in contention. Lyons needs to get in contention, so a victory for either man will go a long way towards them potentially squaring off with the W3L heavyweight champion Joe Legend. And we're a few minutes into this match, and already all that has happened is Lyons has just jawed with the crowd, and he is in no rush to get started here. He does have the experience advantage. He debuted back in 2006. Jeremi was 2014. So Lyons is the more experienced individual in this contest. And you notice that Jeremi is just content to wait. He's not going to be drawn into Johnny Lyons' game. He's not going to be ensnared by whatever plot he's hatched. He's just content to take his time, let Lyons do his talking, and when Lyons is ready, Jeremi will be more than ready. It's a first time meet between these two men. So they lock up, and Lyons clamps on that side headlock. But the power of Dave Jeremi there, just launching
Johnny Lyons across the ring. And Lyons is a big man, 230 pounds. He's one of the bigger men on the W3L roster. But Jeremi outweighs him by like 25 pounds. So he's even bigger. And as was noted in his match against Joey Legend, one of the things he does away from the ring, apart from engaging in powerlifting, is he plays flag football. So this means that Dave Jeremi has speed and stamina on his side. He may not necessarily look it, but he's a quick man and can go. And that, I think, it may prove to Lyons' downfall if he overlooks Dave Jeremi and underestimates him. Jeremi saying, "You want to have a headlock again, be my guest," and Lyons does. Never want to turn down an opportunity. And look at that, Jeremi, it's like running into a brick wall there. Lyons normally steamrollers his opponents, but not this time. The referee Sean McLaughlin applying the 10 count. Lyons wandering around the building, antagonising the fans. And he went to sneak up on Jeremi. He just casually turned and saw him, and Lyons is scarpered again. And Dave Jeremi is not going to be intimidated. His lack of experience won't come into it if it's up to him. And he drops a leg. First pinfall attempt of the match. And Johnny Lyons on the back foot. And again, Dave Jeremi is content to wait it out. Although, as I say that, looks like he's going to go after Johnny Lyons. Maybe now he has an advantage in the match. Jeremi wants to keep that up. I don't think Lyons realises that Jeremi's there. And Jeremi just nails Johnny Lyons. That's what happens when you take your focus off of your opponent. And Lyons hits the knee lift. Oh, Johnny Lyons went to chop Dave Jeremi, who ducked. And that just adds further insult to injury, or perhaps it's further injury to injury. Lyons wants a timeout. There's no time for chocolate bars here. There's a match to win. And Lyons is assaulting Jeremi in the corner. As soon as he gets an advantage, then he becomes very dangerous. And Jeremi's momentum being slightly derailed here, courtesy of that body slam. Johnny Lyons, of course, has an unsuccessful contest with Grado. Well, unsuccessful in his eyes, but I think he's only fueled him more because maybe he couldn't get the victory over Grado on that night, but there are other people in W3L that he can defeat en route to becoming the heavyweight champion, and Dave Jeremi is just the next one in line for Lyons to try and defeat here. And Lyons is standing on the back of Dave Jeremi. It's not necessarily going to injure him too much, but it certainly is like a psychological insult, if you know what I'm saying. That's the thing that maybe people don't quite realise. Johnny Lyons physically has all the tools necessary to win. He's one of the biggest, strongest men in the World Wrestling League. But the fact he's been around for so long, the best part of 10 years or so, he's very cerebral. He knows what he's doing. And things like when he's standing on Jeremy's back, he knows that's not necessarily going to wear him down too much. He knows that's not necessarily going to score him a pinfall or submission, but it can throw Jeremi off his game mentally. It's an aspect of his craft that I think people don't give Johnny Lyons credit for. And you see he's trying to get pinfalls at pretty much every opportunity because he knows the benefit of going straight for a fall whenever you can. You don't get paid by the hour, and giving your opponent an opportunity to relax and regain their composure and come back is never a good move. And you can see that there as Dave Jeremi with a couple of fists. But the tenacious one with the uppercut into the snapmare. This could be the line bite. And right between the shoulder blades, that'll look all there at your lungs. Covers Dave Jeremi, who has enough fight left in him to kick it out. Jeremy's not come all this way. He hasn't signed for this match in an attempt to reposition himself as a heavyweight title challenger, just to be defeated easily by Johnny Lyons. And you see Jeremi constantly fighting back. But a massive forearm from Lyons cuts his momentum off. Lyons just badmouthing the referee, it looks like. And again, clobbering Dave Jeremi with those forearms. Jeremi picks him up and drops him down. And you see how Lyons bounce when he hit the canvas. Shawn McLaughlin again applying the count. Who's going to be first up? Who's going to gain that much needed advantage here? And Lyons will be slightly ahead. And he's up. But Jeremi explodes through him. And again. And hits the drop kick. Maybe not a lot of height, but there's a lot of mass behind it. Those powerful legs of his. Jeremi sets him up, but Lyons moves out of the way and crashes into Jeremi on his own. But hang on, Jeremi retaliates in kind. Down goes Johnny Lyons. The match is all over in favour of Dave Jeremi, but Lyons somehow finding it within him to get a shoulder off that canvas. Dave Jeremi was slightly rattled. I think he'd figured that Lyons was done with that one. And Johnny Lyons has nearly beheaded Dave Jeremi there, crashing down upon him. That's got to end this contest. Shawn McLaughlin's going to make an academical 3 count, but somehow Dave Jeremi able to kick out after being driven face first at the canvas. Imagine when Johnny Lyons jump on your shoulders or on the back of your head. That's not pleasant at all. How Dave Jeremi's still going, I'm really not sure. But you see, he's not quite standing up straight, or wasn't. Hang on, he hooks him up. Went for the D-bone. And Lyons has got the rep. And a low blow. Shawn McLaughlin couldn't see it. There's the ace crusher from Johnny Lyons. And he puts his feet in the ropes as well. Just to add insult to injury, Johnny Lyons steals a victory over Dave Jeremi. So rightly or wrongly, Lyons gets victory this week on Wrestling Showdown.
Tenacious Johnny Lyons steals a victory from Big Dave Jeremi and has no doubt aimed himself squarely at a future heavyweight title shot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as much fun as it is to sit watching Wrestling Showdown here every single week on W3L Network, nothing beats seeing us live in person. So why don't you make sure you are joining us this Saturday in Edinburgh for our next live event. Tickets are of course available from our website. And let me tell you about some of the matches you're going to be seeing. Women's champion Casey Owens will be defending the title against Edinburgh native Carmel Jacob. The merchandise Mike Musso takes on contingency plan member Dickie Divers. another contingency plan member, James Scott. He's got to face the one to watch, Nathan Reynolds, and there is so much more happening as well. That all goes down this Saturday, that's the 16th, in the Southside Community Centre in Edinburgh. Head to our website, W3LWrestling.com, for your tickets. Use Showdown for 20% off, and then go and give us a like on Facebook if you haven't already. Give us a follow on Twitter. Use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown, and make sure you subscribe to this channel so you'll never miss an episode. Speaking of missing episodes, I'm led to believe that we had a slight issue with last week's episode being uploaded. Remember, we were on a northern tour and the Highlands has got intermittent internet connection, so we're sorry about that. So what we're going to do is last week's match is going to get presented for you right now. So the match you would have seen 7 days ago, you're going to get to see right now. It's a triple threat title tournament semi-final match. Let's take you over to that right now, and then remember and join us this coming Saturday in Edinburgh for more live action, and then back here the day after for more Wrestling Showdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is a triple threat title tournament semi-final match. Introducing your first participant, standing to my left, he is from Castle Macula and weighs in 160 pounds. This is the very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie. Introducing next, standing in the corner to my left, from Liverpool, England. He weighs in at 14 stone. He is the notorious nobleman, Lucian Maynard. And your final participant, standing to my right, from Morado, Mexico, weighing in at 49 kilograms.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown for the first semi-final in our Triple Threat title tournament. Now, I'm sure you've seen previous Triple Threat title tournament qualifying matches, but we're here with our first semi-final. Lucian, Maynard, Smith in the red singlet, the very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie in the black and green, and the purple-clad Morado are the three men all looking to advance into the finals of this tournament. The management have not been in any hurry to rush the finals of this tournament. They have been very slow and very methodical, as Mackie wisely ducks out the way and leaves Morado and Smith to get on with it. Management have been scouring the ranks of W3L and further afield as well to find themselves the very best wrestlers that they can to put in this tournament. So they've taken their time over it. They've been very deliberate with their selections, but we have reached the semi-final stage. Now one of these men will move on and be one step closer to becoming the first triple threat champion. Morado crying tap, but Smith not going to submit quite so early in this match, because one fall will decide the contest here. As Smith runs right through Morado, so as long as Mackie remains on the floor and can break up every potential pinfall or submission attempt, this could be a good way of letting his opponents wear each other down. And Mackie immediately in, seizing the opportunity to go after Lucian Maynard Smith there. Lovely body slam by Morado. You see Mackie trying to scramble away from that pinfall attempt, but Morado dragging him back. Morado's battled both of these men numerous times. Most notably at Resolution 8, he battled the very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie. And earlier this year in Remedy, he battled Lucian Maynard Smith. And a knee right between the shoulder blades of Morado. So an alliance forming here, we've seen this happen numerous times. in these triple threat championship tournament matches. And invariably the person being double teamed has a pretty hard time of it. And Smith throttling Morado and raking at the face. Lucian Maynard Smith advanced to him back in April of 2014 over Joe Coffey and Liam Thompson, which was of course a phenomenal pair of athletes to defeat, particularly both at once. Some people may class it as an upset, but it's doing Smith a disservice. It really is. Who's the better man on that night, rightly or wrongly? Smith charges in, and Morado pulls in the top rope, and Smith hits the floor. And Mackie gets launched over the top and wipes out Lucian Maynard Smith. I think Morado is going to take to the air. Morado has his eyes set on advancing in this tournament. He beat Danny Boy Rogers and Dickie Divers to advance back in July of 2014. It's another tough pair of customers to beat, particularly at the same time. But Morado did. Some nice arm drags to take down the very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie. He in turn advanced in March of 2014, overcoming Jimmy Meadows and King David Paris. So you can see the level of quality we've had in this tournament already. And that's when you consider that we still got the likes of El Technico, Mark Coffey, Matsuo Kazuma and many more have advanced as well. We'll be seeing them in future episodes of Wrestling Showdown as the semi-finals continue. And Smith on the floor pulling at the leg of Morado. Remember, there can only one winner, so alliances can by their nature only be temporary. And Mackie with that double chop. Straight in for the cover, wants to take this one home. But Morado's still with a fire lift in him. Mackie's chasing he and Smith forming an alliance again. I mean, surely if you know either of these men, you'll know they will turn on another at the earliest opportunity. Morado being throttled. It's basically a handicap match for him. And Mackie takes him down, and he could have this match won. But you see Mackie apologising. This is where these alliances crumble, because again, only one man can win the match. But during that time, Morado's a sitting duck. Individually, Morado would have the number of either of these men as he has before. But together, it's a different thing entirely. And down goes Morado, landing heavily on that one. And you see Mackie breaks it up. He wants to be the one to advance. The crowd getting behind Morado here. They don't like Smith, and they certainly don't like Mackie either. Of course, the scapegoat, conspicuous by his absence, usually follows Mackie everywhere. And Morado gaining a head of steam here. He really needs to isolate one man if he can. And you see he landed heavily on that turnbuckle there. Mackie ducks out the way. Oh, and Morado lands badly. Be no baby Morados for him, I don't think. Smith gained momentum and just boots Morado, who you see held on the top rope, tried to slow the momentum down, otherwise maybe end up in the third row. And Smith wants to wrestle Mackie, Morado's been dispatched. Mackie looks like he was none of it. And down the floor goes Mackie, picking on the weaker Morado. And isn't that just like Sanctuary, to go for the weakened, the beaten down opponent? It looks like the lines is back on. Smith throttling Morado in the corner. And now Mackie doing the same thing. And we know that Mackie's arguably the most cerebral wrestler in W3L. His intelligence, his schemes, no limits. Always, cunning doesn't quite do him justice, let's be honest. We have to try and pull out a plan at the back quickly, as Morado gained a second wind here. Maybe it's a third one by now. Smith lands heavily. And Mackie lands heavier still. Now if Mackie had remained on Smith, that could have counted as a pinfall attempt. Morado goes up top and drops the splash on the pair of them. But Mackie just about breaks it up and no more. Oh, and down goes Mackie, courtesy of that back suplex at the neckbreaker. Good move by Morado. And you see he immediately goes for a pin. Doesn't waste any time, but Smith there to break it up. Smith thinks he has this one wrapped up. We shall see. Hang on, could we go for that double arm DDT? But Mackie saving Lucian, Maynard, Smith. And it was all a ruse. Mackie with the roll up and advances. Not quite. Smith should have known better than to trust Mackie. And he's got hold of him. And lands the misty flip. That's going to wrap it up, I'm sure. No, wait, Morado's got hold of him. Mackie trying to fit out. Misty flip Morado, it looks like. But he goes crashing at the turnbuckles. Morado hooks him up and drops him down. Morado goes in for the cover and gets the victory to advance in the tournament. So the masked man moves on in the triple threat title tournament here this week on Wrestling Showdown.